Uh, Paul, you want to start?
Well, welcome to Bottom for another edition. Today is the show. Today is the day that Bottom comes. I just want to say welcome, everybody. Welcome to Bottom. Today we're going to have a fascinating discussion. How are you, Linfa?
Well, I'm great, and let's say welcome to you too. We live in Europe or at different ends, so I'm just wondering how you're doing from your end.
I'm doing extremely well. I'm good, and thank God there's we have life. So yeah, I'm good.
Great.
And how's your end?
Yeah, I am fine as well. You know, we in the I don't know what time are we now. We're not we're not in the spring yet, and we like coming from out of this the winter. One day sunshine very well and good weather. I mean, you got a 5 degrees negative or 2 degrees negative, and a few days ago we had like 4 degrees positive, and the snow was
Oh
melting, and
wow!
we were like, "Oh yeah, at least we can see the sign of the sun." But guess what? In the night, it started snowing when we woke up. It was much snow. But this is a sign that the snow is just drying out, but it's not going to hold grounds anymore. The time is over. But are we good? And by the grace of God, we're doing fine.
Great, great, great. By the way, so just to let you know, we also on the radio.
Okay.
We,
And
we
so
can
we
be.
we like to say welcome to people in Radio Land as well. And also the viewing public. So we'll be, like Paul said, we're going to be having exciting discussions tonight, and we will be delving into issues that matter to Liberia and Liberians. And so, if you've joined us for the first time, we urge you to help us to share the show. This is the bottom line where we do discuss the issue, and we hopefully going to have Marie joining us from the UK, and so we expecting that Marie is going to join us. So please help us share the show.
Yeah, that's right.
Okay, so I think we're going to come back, but let's have this music by Tycoon J, and Facebook. We do not have copyright to this music, but it is music from our homeland, and we are discussing issues about our homeland, and so we got to have the public encouraged to watch our show and also to make their contribution. So for those of you joining us, please share the show, and as we listen to Tycoon J, we're going to be back to start the show.
My people, where you at? Where you at? Wake up from your slumber, stop sleeping. Wave your hands, wave your hands, wave your hands, wave your. Come on, come on, come on. I know you're sleeping now. You gotta wake up some more, yeah? Okay, let's go. The people who us, the people lie to us, the government betray us, betray us so much. I said they lie. The people who us, the people lie to us, the government betray us. They can lie, they can steal, they will not go. I said we tired with their lies, we tired with their promises that led us to all our damages. We tired with that speech they preach in thee, and now unique they deceive us. The thing we saw, it frustrate us. So why did you lie? Why did you steal? Why did you allow the citizens to beat? You see, we just tell you that why we voted you. But you fool us, you screw us, you use us and later on abuse us. So why? The government should lie. Why? But that's the question that we ask. They lie. The people fool us. The people lie to us. The government betray us. Betray us so much. I said they lie. The people fool us, the people lie to us, the government betray us, can lie, they can steal, they go knock the corrupt. I said no one to trust. My people no one to hope on. Nobody. My hope that I have been broken. I'm telling you, brother. So where are the schools? Where are the roads? Where are the jobs that they say they could afford? But they too selfish. The people tired with their rhetoric. People tired, they tired. You see the reason why we ask why the government betray. They have enough of time, but yeah, then stay they delay. People suffer. No work for people crying for hunger. Look at. Your vision and your mission, your intention to the nation, they poor. You got nothing to show. Nothing. So, why? The government should lie. Why? But that's the question that we ask. They lie. The people fool us. The people lie to us. The government betray us. They lie. The people fool us, the people lie to us, the government betray us. They can lie, they can steal, they go knock the corrupt. We tired with their promises that led us to all our damages. We tired with that speech they preach indeed, and now unique they deceive us. The thing we saw it frustrate us. So why can you lie? Why can you steal? Why can you allow the citizens to be? You see, we just tell you that why we both tell you. But you fool us. You screw us, you use us and later on abuse us. So why? The government should lie. Why? But that's the question that we ask. The people fool us. The people lie to us. The government betray us. So I said they lie.
Okay, let's say welcome back, and this is the bottom line. Just in case you're joining us for the very first time, we like to say welcome. This is the program on which we elevate the discussion and give our analysis and personal opinions on the issues that we discuss. Tonight, I have with me Paul the Lord Chuluple, and Paul is there in the UK, and I'm here in the Scandinavia, Norway to be specific. And together we will be bringing you some interesting discussions tonight. And briefly, Paul, you want to welcome our guests and also tell them about the online radio that we're on.
Yeah, thank you, Lifa. It's good to be back here. Say, Bottom Liberia is the online television thing that we have here on Facebook, on YouTube. I would like to welcome Sis Dolly on this program. She always is one of our followers. I see one of our panelists, Orita, is also watching. And for all those who joining us for the first time, kindly share our show. And if you've been here before, just share it in your various group. Yes, Linfo, it's good to be back here. I'm happy to be back for another fascinating discussion. So, what's on the menu today?
Well, on the menu is full. Okay, we'll be first of all looking at something that is not very unusual, meaning
Right.
that it always
Before
happens.
you go on, let me recognize to Nelson. Is that Anderson who watching to say well thanks and being with us and share our show. Go on, Linfa.
Okay, like I said, tonight we got a few things on our plate to chew on, and some of them are not. In fact, they all are not strange. The things that we all are familiar with, or all Liberians are familiar with. The first one is the recently there was this story in the news about donation of some consignment of rice, mean RRCE rice that we eat in Liberia. And that donation was made by the Japanese government to Liberia and through the government of Liberia. But later did we know that this donated consignment of rice got on sale. And so the question that people are asking is, why is it that this rice that was donated as a goodwill gesture from a friendly government is on sale? It said that they're going to be, but I don't want to ask that question now. But why? That's the biggest question. Why is the rice on sale? We'll be delving into that. And the next one we'll be looking at is, of course, the biggest story. And the reason that this story makes headline or interest to us is that we're in the same business, the business of communication. And so if you are a communicator, you talk to people and people talk to you. People will ask you questions, you will explain. So that's why we consider this story very important to ourselves, given what we do. And that's the Resignations of Spoon panelists, that's the Spoon Talk Show panelists, have left the show in limbo or in disarray, meaning that, let me put it like one way, it's check like the whole show and make it scatter, okay? When the women talk about disarray or in limbo or disorganized, it means it's chakla. But then the question is, where is the show headed to now? Are they heading to rebranding, or will they remain the way they are? We'll be looking at that. And we may be looking at some factors. Then we'll also look at our newspaper headlines recently, or to be specific, yesterday, where the former VP, Ambassador Joseph Boakai, who is also a presidential candidate in the ensuing 2023 elections, has promised to indict Prince Johnson and all other warlords if Joe Boakai wins the election. Then the question here is, can he be trusted? Can Joe Boakai make any difference from what George we have promised? So those are some of the issues that we'll be looking at tonight. And so if you're joining us for the first time, we'd love to say welcome. Stay tuned. Help to share the show to your contacts. And always like our button. Click our like button so that whenever we come on, you'll be notified. So Paul, exactly that, those are a few of what we got on our docket tonight. And probably if time permits, we may delve into other issues as well. You are muted, Paul.
I say great. Thank you. The topic sound interesting, and I'll be looking forward to this regards to the rest, and then the resignation of those 4 panelists from Spoon, and then GMB with his Pope Prince Johnson on the bus, as they all seeking to have their political alliance is something I think will be interesting. So yeah, but before we get into that, we just kind of ask our viewer to please share the show, share it to their viewer group. It will be good that other people follow us. And having said that, Linford, usually because I live in a country where uh, there's a religion here. It's not like Christianity, but something like football as a religion. And lately, my team has been doing extremely well. So I just want to throw it in there that I'm confident and I'm kind of excited that we're going to win the premiership. And for those who are the chasing part, I just want to say to them, they're just wasting their time. So
No, but
when
people
you're
are
ready,
saying that our team, Arsenal, the Gunners, will always play like this, and at the end of the league, they will beat them and they will be out. But
great.
the question here is, crab. You see the crab? Nobody know where the crab mouth is. Crab mouth right on the side. So when you are crab eating, it takes only a just carry to the side. You think you're playing from, but you're eating. So time going, we're winning small, going, but people say we're not doing anything. So me, I'm looking forward to that, to the point where, first of all, they will take us from the top of the table to bring us under the table. Then now I will know that, well, we can make it. But you see, unfortunately tonight we are two Arsenal supporters here now, so
Let's get going.
yeah, let's get going. We because whatever we say, nobody will be there to counter us. But on a serious note, Liberians, we say welcome to you, and you can leave your comment in the comment box, or at a certain time or during the program we may read them. And so, like we said, the government of Liberia recently donated, I understand, 35,000 metric tons of rice to the Liberian government, and just told the government, but the food was intended for the people of Liberia. And mind you, on this program, one thing we do is we give our personal opinions, and our personal opinions may not be factual. It may not be the fact that you want to hear, but that's why we feel, and nobody can tell us what to say, and we don't tell anybody what to say either. So I believe that the government of Japan did not take this rice and give it to the government of Liberia and say, look, take this rice and go keep it or sell it and get money. Because normally, if the Japanese government had undertaken several projects in Liberia, and sometimes they will sponsor those projects with their own money, and even provide experts that will carry out some of those projects. So if the government of Japan is giving rice to the Liberian government, I'm not sure that the Japanese government is that broke that they cannot give cash to the government of Liberia if the government needs cash so much that they will take rice and say, go sell it for it before you get money. Paul, what do you think? You think the government of Japan is so that broke that they can't afford to give the government of Liberia money, that they will give them rice and tell them to sell it to the same people that are suffering?
Linford, the Japanese government donated, the world is donation, they donated rice to Liberians through the government of Liberia. If somebody gave free gift, they will say Japan is not a country that don't have market to sell their product or for money. They donated a free gift to the country. So the question is, that donation, where was it intended for the people of Liberia or for maybe hospital or schools? What did they give the 35 metric ton of rice? Was it for them? And why is this rice now being sold on the market? That is the question. The rest was donated to the people of Liberia through the government. So it means people in the rural area, people the orphanage or hospital, those people who don't have food or schools, they are the people that are supposed to be beneficiary of this rest. But why is it now the rest being sold? And that is the question. Remember too, Linfa, I guess we'll dive into this is election year, and the rest as a whole have always played its part for people to be elected. So setting rest to the people on a low scale price, and then the government can use that. Oh, we got enough rest here, so it's something that we need to look at. Why are they setting the rest? If something that was donated for a purpose, why would you sell it? And where's that money going?
Hmm. Well, that's why I started the whole thing by asking the question: does that mean that the Japanese government is that broke that they cannot give Liberian government cash if the government of Liberia needs money so much that the Japanese government will say, look, you'll go take rice, we'll give you the rice free, but you'll go sell it in order to get money? I don't believe that. I don't believe that. I mean, it's me. I don't believe that. And so for the government to begin to sell this rice, and I was reading somewhere on social media where somebody made a statement, and I want to believe that person. The person said, and I quote, that come election, very close to election time, the same rice that the Japanese government gave, as of now, that rice will disappear completely from the market. Then, when the elections are like maybe a month away, when campaign is really heated, that's when you see government officials coming out, making huge donation of rice and giving rice out now. And like you said, at that point, the rice will become a political tool to be able to encourage people to vote. But before we proceed, let's bring on Mary. I'm sure she's ready now. So, and Mary, I don't know if you hear us. Do you hear us?
Yeah, hello. Hi. Good afternoon. Good
Okay,
evening,
good.
sorry.
We are
I said
fine.
good
How are you?
afternoon. How you doing? You all right?
We are great. We are great.
Am I okay with the camera?
Okay, yeah, now you're okay.
Okay, that's good.
Yeah, and so we'd like to say welcome to the show. We already started, but the biggest question we're asking is there was a donation of rice from the Japanese government to the government of Liberia. But this rice, we understand it was donated, I mean, given free to the government. And I'm sure the Japanese government did not say go and sell the rice, but the rice is now on sale. And in fact, people are complaining that they cannot find this rice on the market, even though it's on sale, but they cannot find it. So 35,000 metric tons, yeah, it sounds big. It's not that great, but at least it should spend a few days on the market. But then the rest was donated. The next 24 hours, they put on the market, and then you can't see it anymore. Okay, it's not visible on the market. So the question is, where is the rice at this moment? And in fact, why is the government selling it, Mary? Can you give your input?
Um, it's a mystery, you know?
It is.
Yeah, it's a mystery because if the rice been donated for the citizens, because previous they had a rice crisis, so I believe that's what the Japanese government jumped in to kind of donate, and then now they're selling it. Uh, it's a bit complicated.
Hmm.
It's a critical path for Liberia, most especially for the international community that want to go in again next time to want to donate. They're not going to trust that process to say, okay, we want to do this for the citizen, but people are not making money out of it.
Yeah, but the question somebody want to ask, why would the government want to sell the rice that was given free?
Exactly.
You said that the government is broke or what? I don't
I
understand
don't
this.
know. I don't know. I believe so. I believe they are very, they might be broke because if you called out to the international community and say, oh, my citizens are in crisis, being George Weah now, my citizens are in crisis for rice or for oil or for water, whatever it is, and then you be donated those commodities, and then next minute you start selling it, that means you are broke. Sorry, that's how honest. That means you are broke, or
No,
you're
No,
just
no.
going around
I mean,
parasailing.
definitely, that's the first conclusion that anybody will arrive at, because here is Paul. Uh, Paul needs a pair of shoes, and I got all these shoes. Paul said, "Mama, give me some shoes, man." So the moment take a shoe. The moment Paul gets a shoe, Paul will sell the shoes. So then, even me, who get Paul the shoe, I begin to ask, or the bartender, people who see Paul that Paul gets shoe, Paul was giving you a free shoe, and then Paul will sell the shoe. So it said that Paul is broke or what? So that's the first conclusion that anybody will arrive at. Paul, or you want to add in there?
no, Paul is not broke. But what happened here is election time, and rice have been sold lately on the market for $25, $23. So the Japanese rice that they donated to the government, they're now selling $11. So it make the government look good. That look, we have not rice in the country. The price of rice have been lowered to $11, and that is campaign message. And remember too, what's going to happen here? That huge quantity of rice that have come in the country, that particular rice pretty soon will be in the lawmakers that are running for re-election. They will use that very rice to conjure people to vote for them. It wouldn't surprise you that in that same race, George Weah may print his T-shirts and put it in there. George Weah election for 2023, that he's giving the rest out free to them. So this is election time, and they will do everything in their power to conjure the citizen of Liberia that we have rest, and this is free rest we give you. That rest and money they're going to use for campaign purposes. That's how I see the whole thing going to play out. If the rest came in as donation, it means the Japanese government are giving for a purpose. Now, who the most vulnerable people that need rest that don't have food, it meant for them. So as they sell this rest on the market for $11, it's campaign message they're sending out there that will get plenty rest in the country and the rest price have been lower. Then later on now you see Sir Joseph in the Mosurado area distributing rest to those rural communities that they know people are very hungry. So don't be surprised. That same rest that I was sending, don't be surprised to see purple rest bag going around. So this is all government trick, and that is their playbook we're looking at here.
Okay, but now you made a point, and this of course this is not part of the discussion tonight, but I just want to relate it. Recently, the regional vice president of the World Bank was in Liberia, and he and President Weah made some trips. They toured certain projects that the World Bank has been financing in Liberia, and while this guy was in Liberia, he actually tended like he was praising the government, but then he left. And when he went back, then he's calling on the government of Liberia to speed up with those projects. And that he's not satisfied with how the project itself or the projects are going on. And some people are saying, why is it that the government of Liberia will be giving, or people will be giving money to this government all the time, and then the government is not using that money for the intended purpose? But those people who are making this donation or giving the government the money are not taking any action, but they continue to give the government money. It's like, again, I gave you something and you're not using it for what you're supposed to use it for. Then I complain, oh, why I gave Paul this thing, but Paul is not using it right. Then I still give it to you. So people are saying that the donors should now begin to press the government or to kind of cut down cut back their support to the government, which of course I will not support though. Why? Because it's the poor people that will suffer. Paul?
Linfa, we always use this word, Liberia is a suffering nation. Now, Liberia also is a country that go begging for everything, right? And if you live in a white male country, they don't give you anything free. So if you go ask World Bank for this, they will give it to you. In the end, who pay? We the one going to pay it back. So go to the bank and ask for a loan, and then you pay something. Then later on you go back and say, oh, the loan I want top up. The bank will top it up because you pay huge interest on it. So World Bank, we got serious bill to pay, and our children, grandchildren, they will pay everything back. So this guy taking the World Bank as, oh, anything we run to for every little thing, let run to World Bank for this project, for salary, for this. They will give it to you, but you pay back in huge price and interest. So we should get ready. Our children now will take all the bill that this guy partying on us. So it's not the World Bank will give it to this. Say, okay, speed up the project. Yeah, we don't have for the project, but we still need more money to complete the project. We want 100,000 or 100 million again. The World Bank will give it to you. They will not hesitate. They will give it to you. And at that point now, then after a few years, the other government come, they left with huge bills to pay back. And this is the Liberia we're looking at. So we keep seeing it. If you have people who are not ready for the job, this is where you get. And this is just the classic example of what's happening. So, Linford, you and Marie can dive in this.
Well, probably Mary got a take. And then
that is the truth. What Paul is saying is the honest truth, because we, most especially our children, going back home in Liberia in the next, I don't know how many more years, but it could be pretty soon. they got a lot of bills to pay, and that's the honest truth. The World Bank is not just going to. This is what makes me so personally angry, you know. And I was like, these people are taking all this money from the World Bank. They did not know that they're supposed to pay this money back. And this is coming in millions. This is not even coming in thousands. Like you have to have the kind of like a in-depth knowledge,
Yeah.
like what Paul has, for you in order for you to say, for you to kind of like be that insightful and say, I fully 100% agree with what this gentleman is saying, because we are going to pay back that money in full. And all the money they're taking from the World Bank anyway, they're using it for the personal use. They're not using it for the citizens. The president right-hand man just built a brand new house in Liberia, and he's posting it on Facebook. Now they're selling the rice. So what that money now is what now they're gonna say, oh, but we'll give you guys rice, but you guys are selling the rice now. So all this profit is going back into Liberia pocket. But the money that they took from the World Bank was not used for the purpose why the World Bank gave it to them in the first place. Now that money is from the rice is what they're gonna use.
Yeah, the reason I brought in a World Bank thing is to lay the premise as to whether countries that want to donate to us anything in any form, should they consider how those things that are being donated are used? And if they are not used for the intended purposes, should they hold back those donations or goodwill gestures? Because the thing is that you try to help me, but whenever you help me, I waste it. You help me, I waste it. So why would you want to continue to do it? See?
I mean,
So,
I understand what you're saying, meaning going forward, but I believe they won't do that. They will continue donating. Why? Because it's like this book I'm reading, Loving Kindness. And most of the people that is doing the donation, they know, maybe that organization might be go down. A new organization will come up again. It's called promotion. So they will do it again. Because maybe the Liberian will approach another organization that need promotion or awareness to say, oh, I helped Liberia in this crisis to donate. It's onto the record.
I understand where you're going to, Mary, but
it's going down the database.
Let's just get focused on this Japanese group. I know they may want to donate drugs. They may want to donate some essential things to Liberia, but they have given rice. And then they see right under their noses, they are right there in Liberia, they are present, and the government is selling the rice. So do you think these people are just there to waste their resources on Liberia?
No.
Okay, so this is the point I'm trying to make.
They're not silly headed. They know that next time if the Liberian call back to them for help, they're gonna do strong investigation into that help.
Linford and Marie, you're dealing with the West. The West don't just give things for nothing. There's always something. They donate rights to you. Whoa, wait a minute. Everything that they produce in the West have an expiring date on it. It could be, it's just assumption. It could be that they have it in abundance and it's due to expire. We cannot waste it here. That poor country, Liberia, need rice. So let's donate this rice to Liberia. And thank God to our good government that accept good things in goodwill and decide to do the opposite of what is intended for. This is classic George Weah government. For good thing, they always turn it ugly. That's what it meant for. So mark my word, that particular rest will be used for campaign. That's the intent. That rest came in to help the poor. Remember when people had this, and the CPP had their rally? The government went into various communities and started cooking for people to eat. They did that. This rest that came in, they will do the same thing. They'll go to communities and start giving people 3, 4, 5 plastic cups or plastic bags to say, oh, we bring this with some $20 for them to vote for them. So the intent for that rest may be a due to expire at some point. So the people need to have it to eat it. But the government going to use, and it's going to happen. The government going to play their book well with this rice. So the one that is sold, you think where that money going to go? It's going to go in the pocket of the bar guys. That's what's going to happen. And they'll make use of that money.
Okay. And I think we say much about that, but maybe we just give our closing comments on the rest issue, and I will start with myself, and we'll go to Mary, then we'll end with Paul. For me, what I want to tell Liberians is that your eyes are open. You cannot be fooled all of the time. Somebody can pick a chance to fool you once, twice, but the third time, the fourth time, at least you should have small feeling. You should relate to the past and say, well, they kind of thing we not see it before. No, and actually, no, in not all Liberians. Sometimes I hear people classify Liberians as quick to forget or they don't observe. No, see, at least among 100 Liberians, you have one or two that will say, wait a minute, it did not happen when I see it before. So Liberians, share the message. Know that these people have been fooling you. And this is not the first time, okay? That you elected people for 6 years and some of them for 9 years. That they will come back to you only when it's time for election to bring rice. Tell me, Japanese government gave you a country, you the people, that you the government of Japan gave them that rice for. And then your government will take it and bring it to you and tell you to vote for them. Can you imagine? So, I mean, just ask yourself, why from 2017 you voted, they brought some rice to you. Is it that rice that you stay living on? Eh? So somebody will bring rice to you again, then you put it there for the next 6 years. So what you'll be eating before 2020, I know 2029. So you got to be smart for once. You got to put on your thinking cap because these people, they think that you are not thinking. You are thinking, but probably no, we Liberian, we are soft people. Oh, let's just do it. But you can't let the thing what we call your own sympathy. You can't let somebody own sympathy exceed your own interest. Because you see me, I cry, I want you to help me. Then you take everything that you get, you give it to me. Then you go sit down and start suffering like me, who was suffering before. Watch yourself. Look at your own life. These people that you voted for in 2017, where are they now? And ask yourself, where are you? And then ask yourself again, ask 6 more years, where will you be here after? You see? So, Liberians, be wise. This election is not about rice. It's not about you folding your stomach for that 1 week or a few days, the few cups they'll give you. It's about your future, your children's future, and how you'll live over and over for the next life that you have to live, whether you live 100 years, 60 years, or whatever. Think about your future, not for now. No, you see, this is where they say the women get sent by black men. No. We are living in a women country. All of us live in a women country. They will tell you, some of the most stupid people, sorry for that expression, that women, some of the most stupid people you can ever come across. Okay? But the sensible one, then are more than they can play well. Okay? For tomorrow. Women not only looking at today, looking at tomorrow and the day after. Okay? But for us Africans, sometimes I hate to say this, our planning is so short. It's immediate. Right now. That's it. Give me some rest. I cook it, we eat today, I'll go for, we wash the dishes clean, we sit down. You finish buying us. Tomorrow you're not coming back. Then we start looking for it again.
Yeah.
No, don't let that happen to you, Liberians. Marie, take it and then Paul will end it. Your final word on this rest issue. Then we can move on.
Yeah. I mean, the Liberians should be aware now that this rice issue's been going on for decades in your timeline, for in Paul time, in my time. So if somebody coming to blindside them because they was going through a crisis previous, or trying and now coming to blindside them, or in the name of goodwill, they need to open their eyes. The digital age that we are in now. We are not in any like in the traditional market anymore. So they should be aware that this is just blindside in order for the government now to flourish into the election and try to make big mouth and say, "Oh, we did this. When this was happening, we came, we did it. Remember, we did that. Oh, remember this was happening, we came, we did that." So, yeah, they need Liberians on the panel tonight. You guys need to open your eyes and know that you are only being blindsided because this rice crisis has been going on since Door time. Door even went saying he's going to go and plant his own farm to grow rice. So you guys should be aware. If you want talking about, don't make nobody to come and full sight your eyes. Please open your eyes and know that this is just another. I don't even know how to say in the campaign language, but this is not. This is another George Weah strategy again. George Weah is just trying to reiterate what's the guy's name, Samuel Doe, portray in the government. And it's too obvious to me, particularly, and I don't know about other people, but to me, it's his strategies. He just, mimicking a lot of the leaders, the ex-leaders. So it's just a bit boring. So open your eyes and know that you cannot be blindsided, or because George Weah want to win second term again. Like he's mentioned, 6 plus 6 is 12. So no, only 6 we're gonna keep him on. And and let other people come in and open your eyes and enjoy the environment, enjoy the global environment. It's a beautiful place that you guys just don't want to experience. It's very beautiful. So yeah, that's all I have to say. And going forward, open your eyes. Don't be blindsided because of rice crisis. There's better things to be blindsided about than rice crisis.
Wow.
Thank you.
Linford, somebody once said to me, the civil war in Liberia, a lot of people were born in the darkness. And so when I asked this guy, what do you mean people were born in the darkness? He said the youth of Liberia today, they are more than the older generation. And majority of them were born in darkness. They never saw light. So politicians in Liberia tend to play on them. You see, this little in Norway, I get every little meter you see playground for children. That little playground that we are put up there, because those children were born in darkness, they see it as something big. And this go back to the issue I'm talking about the rice. They are hungry in their communities. So this rest thing, somebody come and give you free rest, they think that that rest has come from God because they are blind. And our politicians good at using the rights to be elected. You were a journalist during Charles Taylor time. How did Charles Taylor win election in Liberia? It was the same rest that he used. He took his t-shirt and put it in the back of it and distributed among people. People saw that he was doing it as a goodwill. This is the playbook of past and present government. So that's what they're going to use this rest thing. Remember too that two things here the government going to use. They have just printed money. The new money is on the market. Only election time you can see the money coming out. Then rest added to it. This is all their how they call it election strategies for them to get back to fool the people because the people were born blind. If you're born in light, you see light. If you're born in darkness, you see darkness. So, on this note, we need to talk to our people to open their eyes. Although it's dark, but that darkness, the light beyond the tunnel that they can see. So the rest shouldn't be somebody can fool you with rest and give you their $5 to say, oh, go sell your vote, because it's all it's gonna boil down to this. The people need to open their eyes. So I'll close on that note.
Okay, and rightly so, Paul and Marie. I think you're right, and we all have said exactly what our people need to do. And let me tell you one thing: we cannot give up on the Liberian people. Not every one of them. It's not only Liberian people that do not read between the lines. A lot of people do read between the lines. A lot of people know what's going on, and they will react. But you got to know the culture that we come from. And I will give this one to Liberians, right? Liberia is one of the most peaceful countries that I have ever seen, despite the fact that we fought 2 decades of war almost. And that war, if I would describe it in a scientific language, I would say that war was a result of something in, I think, physics we call effervescence. Okay, take the Coca-Cola and shake it, leave it close and shake it, and open it at once. What will happen? The whole thing will pull up because of that effervescence in it. Okay, the war that we fought in Liberia was something that built up over the years, and it built up to the point where the Liberian people took enough in, and it was like the late Whitney Houston when she sang this song and said, "Exhale." There comes a time that you have to exhale. If you hold your nose and your mouth and you cannot breathe, you just got to find a way to exhale. And that's what happened to Liberia. And so at that time, it was necessary that I walk in, and that war was fought. And we all know what happened. But that was something that built up. And after a war, if there are some violent countries, some part of the country should be ungovernable. People should not even be traveling at night. There should be hijacking. But beside the little isolated things about Zogo, which just in the city's limit, where we say we got Zogo, and those Zogos were created by people. Okay, so Liberians are kind of peaceful people, and so this is why our politicians will ride on us all of the time. And having said that, let's go to the next topic. And this one is a bit hard to talk because we are in the same business. But the Great Spoon enterprise, the Great Spoon media empire seems to be crumbling. If you go back in history, you'll find out that there have been, or there were great empires. Even the very Africa that we come from, if you study the African history, they'll tell you about the Songhai Empire, the Malian Empire, and the Timbuktu, and the rest of them. They were great empires, okay, ruled by emperors. Okay, and people who lived that time, they didn't even know that those empires could have collapsed. So this goes to say that nothing lasts forever. I mean, the fact that God will create Adam and Adam will die and Eve will die, that means nothing can last forever. So Spoon Talk Show became very vibrant in very short time, and they excelled to the point where they gained relevance, and people thought that some people thought that nothing can happen to them anymore. And all of a sudden, for one person who was a founder, or who is a founder, his misgivings, should I put it that way? I will not talk about crime. I will not say his crime because I'm not a judge. But his misgiving, things that he did that people believe is wrong, have affected that particular establishment to the point where 4 of their panelists left the show. And they are saying it was because of disagreement. Now, I've listened to 2 of them. In fact, focus on Liberia. All 4 of them were on. I didn't listen to the whole interview, but I listened to Tomali George's interview with Monique Kishen, and Tomali explained some of the things that happened for which they left, which I don't want to go into. But the fact that this group left affected the entire Spoon Talk or Spoon Show. Now, Paul, I have a picture. I don't know whether you have that picture where the logo of Spoon has been changed. Do you have it?
No, I'm not even interested in them. So
Yeah, no, I thought I sent it to you. No, no, no.
No,
But
no, no.
it's important for this discussion. The fact that this show was going on after I think I can send it to you. After uh, uh, the case came on Stanton to the point where his picture was still on a logo. And according to what the people are saying, the people that resign are saying, they had this disagreement. Brother, step aside, go for your case, or even if you'll be in the background and puppeting the show, but prove to the Liberian people. Because remember now, there is this saying that he who comes to war, equity must come with war clean hands. So
Exactly.
fine. So this brother has been there and you know giving other people hard time, so to speak. Let me just put it the Liberian way. Giving other people hard time. When somebody does anything, he will talk about it. And then talking, he will not think because it's not susu, right? We're sitting there and talking. Maybe when something happened to us, people want to know. So when he's talking, people say, my man, the Liberian people asking also. They want to know about your case, but we're not talking about the case. So what you do is step aside and then appoint someone else to run the show. You can still be behind the scene and giving us advice or whatever when you feel necessary. But the brother said, nah, no, he cannot. Okay. And so that plus all of disagreement made them to leave. Marie, now it's like you and I got this thing going. You businesswoman, right? So we got this business going. I'm your partner. And something happened to me. And you know, this thing, if we don't take time, if I don't really, the lawyer will say recuse myself. That means excuse myself and move aside from in a way this thing might affect us. And you and myself talk. I don't seem to be cooperating with you. And you know that will affect our business. All our profit then will go. Okay? So what do you think you'll do? And you say you might rather take all your team. Maybe if you don't want to have a store, the building where we got the business in, you might say, okay, I'm taking my business. You come and take all your goods you get, take it and carry different place, just so you can save your business. So this is what happened to Spoon. But the first example that is the resignation of these guys is having some effect, some impact. I don't know how, whether negatively or positively, but it's having impact. And nobody can deny that. Paul has a picture that he will pull up, which a lot of people have seen. Just yesterday, when I woke up this morning, every morning I listen to Spoon when I go to work. So when I went to Spoon site, I saw that the logo has been changed. That the picture of Stanton was no more on there. They only got Spoon Talks. So it said the result of the resignation. I want somebody to talk to me before Paul can even put it up. Somebody talk. Marie, do you think the changing of that logo is it because the guys resigned? That because this is one of the sticky points that they've been on. What do you think?
It can happen for numerous of reasons, really.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, due to what's happening in the background, that would be one factor. And second, I don't think because someone is resigning, they should be able to change the logo. It is still it's my
That's
view.
one of the demands that people who resign made do.
Okay, so then that could be another factor as well. But we still have to bear in mind what is going on in the background. So maybe it has scaled so high that his photo is no longer needed on the company head, on the company letterhead or the company website head.
Paul, you
That's
got
how I
it?
see it.
Yeah, but link photo.
Mm.
Yeah, this is the picture here.
Mm.
So that's it. It's now become a Spoon Talk national issue, right?
Mm.
That's their new logo. So they took out all the panelist picture from there and replaced it with this one.
Mm.
So I guess this is their rebranding that they want to do to continue the show because the other four panelists left.
Mm.
The CEO himself is in, he's been indicted, facing
Mm.
court, he's going to court. So they can't put Dr. Francis picture alone there. So maybe in due course, they might put the new panelist picture up. So the new
Okay,
branding.
okay, but here, very good. So this is the question I'm asking. The new branding, the new branding? The first time we see is the logo. So is it because of this resignation that the demand that the guy was making that is taking effect now? That's the question.
No, I think because of the resolution of those 4 panelists are left, because their picture were there, they can't be there no longer and be
Mhm.
displayed, so they have to take it down.
Yeah, but
So
then so why the other panelists that are there now, the new one plus because Dr. Francine is still there, why
so
her
it
picture
can
can
be
be
it.
there along with the new people?
Well, the thing is because they still putting their team together, so it could be they have not concluded their new team yet, so they have to leave it blank. It's
Okay,
my
but then
opinion.
for me, I will conclude and I will also give my opinion that the resignation is not taking effect because
It could be,
if the
yeah,
guys had
because
not demanded this and as a result resign, this would not have happened. This new branding would not have happened. So that's my opinion.
okay.
Uh,
But the thing is I will look at it from the other angle.
mhm.
The question is why now?
Why
The
now? Why now?
resignation,
What?
the
Why not?
resignation. Why now?
Why they resign now?
Yeah, why now?
You want me to try
Let me
to
I
answer
mean,
that?
try.
Okay,
yeah,
let
my
Marie try
yeah,
then.
why now?
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. That's a very good question. Why now? If this wasn't going to happen in the background, none of them would have even think about resigning.
Exactly.
Okay. So can I try?
You can try. Why
Okay,
now?
let me then before I try, I'll ask you why do you think they should have resigned first or before, long time before?
What Linford? The
Hmm.
fact is that these guys were bought.
Mm-hmm.
They
Hmm?
were bought. They were in the pocket of this guy. They had
I,
no
di-
say on the show
I didn't know that.
because I'm not saying because I listened to some of them. They were paid according to Ben Savvy. They were getting 400, I think, for something every
Every 2 weeks.
weeks.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. So when you're in the pocket of somebody, you
And they
have
were
no
working
say.
though. They were working.
Well, you watch the show for many years. How many years they been operating? When
Almost
he
3 years.
says something, the guys got no voice on the show. So why did he resign by then?
Well, okay, now I can
Okay,
try. Okay, then
you
now I
can
can
try.
try. Okay. One of the reasons why I'm putting myself in the shoes that I was one of the panelists, right? One of the reasons why I wouldn't have resigned at that time is that number one, uh, the terms and condition was guys, we on the show we all give our opinion, but as the saying goes, he who pays the piper selects the tune. So it's Witherspoon who had the money. Okay, and so he was paying them. So it's like your boss. If your boss is paying you, as long as you're not in bad standing with your boss, whatever happens, there can be some little misunderstanding. So they were receiving their money regularly every 2 weeks, and the show was going on. So and by all indication, I also want to say that the guys were also saying they were giving their free opinion at certain times. I mean, look at Kevin San, for example. You will sit there and talk to anybody, people, and condemn people, and even look at things that are happening in the government. Everybody, even the unborn baby, know you will sit there and disprove it. Okay, you had people from the ANC camp as well, Dr. Francine, and at a certain point, Mariah was there, and she could give a views, and it came a time that she and the people could not agree, and she left. So they were working, and then probably even if they wanted to leave, they wanted a genuine reason to leave. They couldn't say because we have been having disagreement or black and white.
But,
But the perfect opportunity came and come here and taking a trial. I'm not my answer will not be perfect, but I'm just giving you a trial, right? The perfect opportunity came when the CEO now found himself in this crisis that he's in. Okay, and then the guys were and he said wanted to control, to maneuver the show, and the guy said no. Now that you've been suppressing us and just playing the role, now that you've been suppressing us, like you Paul said, the guys were not having their will on the show most of the time. So in their mind, they will say, my man, they may have been suppressing us all the time, and we have not had a chance to move. But saying now he's in the trouble here, that time for all to voice out. So when they told him, my man, you gotta do so, so thing, and he insisted he cannot do it, then that was a perfect opportunity for them to leave. So I'm addressing your direct question, but why now? So this now was the perfect opportunity for them because at least they have a case. They can say, well, you know what? They man, we've been talking to him to do this, to do that, but he didn't agree, so we can leave. Which exactly they did.
My man.
So that's my trial answer.
They are good trial. These are the guys now that keep telling us that the man, he does not apologize to anyone. He's an arrogant person, but they knew all that. They silent there for 3 years, eating his money.
Yeah, no,
Now there was another guy who walked away from that show, Katama.
yeah.
Why did he walk out? Because it was not his cup of tea. So you sat down there,
Yeah, but the
you
question
ate
is
the
where
man
Katama
money.
was on the scene level with the guy because remember those guys from, I mean, not all of them from the show, but they were there for a very long time.
Well,
Katama
I can
appeared.
tell you the original founder of that show. You
I know
see,
Ashford got it.
no, not Ashford Gary. I'm going to, but I mean the panelists. You heard about Reverend, the Reverend who left?
Yeah, it's
Uh,
not on Henry Costa show.
that Reverend was the first with Peabody. The Reverend knew that he could not handle the man, he left. So if you have integrity, you leave. You not let somebody bully you through, or then not because the person in trouble, you say, oh, we have our time now to seize opportunity. No, that the man show.
So let me
So
ask you.
you sat
So
down there
so
for 3 years.
so was it right for them to leave or not, in your opinion?
They should have stayed.
Yeah, the name of the Reverend is Reverend Martin. He's now
Barry
on Costa
Martin,
show.
yes. He
Okay,
left.
but
This man with integrity, he left. He said, no, I'm not having this. Katama went on the show. He said, no, this is not my cup of tea. He left. But those guys sat down there.
Mariah went there, she left.
She left.
Yeah, but the thing is, the
Remember?
guys were there. They were taking pay too. So
Well, so
the
there's
paycheck
other
kept them
jobs
there.
out there, my brother. There's other jobs. You can be at your workplace, your boss keep bossing you around, you're not happy. You say, oh, because of the money, I'll stay. You walk out. So that's what I asked the question, why not? They could have stayed there, live with it until the court case finished.
Okay, so
That's what I'm
what
saying.
will you say about Dr. Francine? Is Dr.
And she
Francine?
stayed there. She was one of the person that was bullied over and over. And she stayed, she's there with her, she still carried the loyalty. She's still there. And they walk out, and now they say they're coming with their own platform.
Mm-hmm.
Thank God.
Okay, so
This is
what would you say comparing these guys with Dr. Francine? Will you say that Dr. Francine did the right thing, or is she still like, you know, taking the bully and yeah, okay, like she's I didn't want to use the word hopeless,
okay.
but she's like, okay, I
This
have
is
no choice. Let me be here.
before Marie coming. This is how I see it.
Mm-hmm.
Dr. Francine got abused
Mm-hmm.
from all angles, men and women that she must leave the show.
Mm-hmm.
Her own ANC people went after her day and night.
Mm-hmm.
She showed loyalty to her boss. In terms of crowd, say instead of you telling this guy to leave, now we will take over the show and run it our own way. So Dr. Francine now running the show the way she wanted to run. So if this guy was so loyal to this guy, they will be there. They will be with Dr. Richardson. They will run it the way they wanted it to run. But because they want to seize the guy program on their own and do what they want to do with it, and he didn't accept it, that's why they walk out. And God, not they should have stayed there. And the same loyalty they showed to him when they were eating his money, they just be there to the end. What kind of disagreement people, you and your wife can have disagreement, you walk out of her because you have eternal disagreement? That's what they said. That's why they walk out. Why they didn't stay there? They will sort of be there to the end until whether he's found guilty or not. That's the fact. When this guy was insulting the George Weah, the Cummings, and all the politicians that he didn't like, and they were there enjoying the gravy, when they want to, he'll say, oh, before the show, and you have your, and they sat down there for 3 years because they wanted to seize this guy program. He said no, they got angry and walked out. And that's the bottom line of this.
Yeah, but the guy came some good reason though. They also said that the CEO blocked them, or in fact removed them from the chat room, and he allocated a schedule to them. Like, okay, you can't count today, you count tomorrow.
Linfa, There always two sides to the story. It's their version of the story. Then there's another version from Eugene Fagon of the story. So let's hear Dr. Richardson's side of the story too. So there are always two sides to the story. It's that story they're going with. So I asked if they should have just built there because that
Okay,
internal
so
process.
if Paul Children play was among those guys, what would have Paul done?
I will stay with this guy because I swallowed the bitter pill with him for 3 years. I'll be there until the end. That's what I will run away.
So
That's
you're
for
supporting
real.
that.
That's for
So
real.
you're supporting Dr. Richardson's stance.
I support her stand. She got abused over and over, leave the show, and she shown her loyalty. She could have walked away a long time.
Yeah, she's in my own opinion, she's ably handling the show even more than before, though, because I
Wow.
follow them
You
and I
see?
see how she's doing it, and I'm satisfied. I mean, that's my personal opinion. Okay, the next question now is, where is the show leading? Or not?
Let me add to what Paul just said
Okay,
earlier.
Maria, come before I ask the next question.
Regarding what Paul said earlier about loyalty, that's exactly the same thing I would do. It just simply showed this lady that's what she wanted to do. She wasn't there because of anybody, or even for the hair boss. She was there because it's what she wanted to do. So her continuing with the show, it is exactly the same thing. I would do the exact same thing what she doing. Because it's what she wants. Okay, that's fine. The show is not for her, but she's there because it's what she wants. So she's just showing the audience that has been watching her for over the years. I'm still here. We can still carry on.
Yeah, so Maria is right. And the thing is, internal crowding will always be internal crowding. What are and one of the viewers said, Ben Savage said he was blocked. Well. So yet Dr. Richardson come out tomorrow and gave a version of the story. Then now we can compare notes. We'll not take the 4 people that went and decided to put their own story together and run with it. Let's hear the other side of the story. And then we'll do the comparison here. But they should have stick with the brother. They enjoy the work of the brother. They sat down there. He took them to Liberia. He was flying them all over the place in first class, second class, whatever, fifth class. They were enjoying. Then times of crisis, they want to run away. I wouldn't buy into that. But something about that interview that he had, and in that interview, something was mentioned about Mr. Cummings. And this is what I want us to look at.
Okay, we can look at that, and then after, I'll ask my last question on the scene show. So,
Okay, so
if you have that clip, you can let it roll.
yeah, so let me find this clip while we're talking about. I think it's something that's important that we talk about. The guy did terminal judge did mention about Mr. Cummings' passport. Somebody from Homeland Security gave him a tip up regarding Mr. Cummings' passport and Stanton passport. Why would that conversation come out in the open? Let's listen to this.
Who work in the department asked me and told me and said, well, I want to talk to you, and brought it to my attention, and I said, look, it's keeping evidence on you guys. I said, like how? So then I went and asked him, and the exact word to me was, you my brother, whenever you hear and stuff like that, keep it to yourself. I don't want to hear anymore. Don't bring it to me, stay away from that. I don't want to hear about that talk anymore, and just don't bother to tell me about it. Keep it to yourself. I don't want to hear it. So I said, but then everything's fine. And I just asked, well,
Thank you, Mr. Josh. And
hold on, Anthony. I want Mr. Josh to give a little more. He said FBI stuff, and they said they were keeping surveillance on you guys, meaning 4 of you plus Mr. Witherspoon and other. FBI said they were keeping surveillance on you.
It was this Liberian guy. I won't call his name, but he worked with Homeland Security, I think. He met me in Trenton and told me, I want to talk to you. And then he showed me Mr. Cummings' passport. He showed me and showed me several passports. Showed me what pictures were going to Liberia. He said, but I just let you know that we know all those who travel in and out of this country. We have them on database. But I just want to make you know that I'm not joking with you. I'm telling you something. But you guys are not in problem. Only your CEO is on surveillance. But I just want to let you know. So I decided to go as a friend and tell him about it. And I took to him one-on-one, and he dismissed it. He said, look, I don't want to hear it. Keep it to yourself. When you hear anything, don't bother to tell me. I don't want to hear it. So like that, I said, but then everything's fine. So I just took it to be that way and went on. I said, but then things fine.
Right. These guys were tipped a long time ago that the FBI were investigating their friend. They knew all that. They sat down there. The man said, don't want to know if somebody blow alarm, somebody call you and tell you, say, Linford, Paul that you're working with, this because I see you as Liberian, I work in the environment, but we got surveillance on you. And they knew of this. But what interesting here is this guy or Liberian who worked with a Homeland Security decided to pinch his Liberian brothers that you'll be mindful with watching you. But Tommy George here have done something that I wouldn't have done. Somebody tell you we got the thing we call privacy. He put this guy who worked with Homeland Security in a big mess. That show him, the guy showed him Mr. Cummings' passport and others say those that move him in and out. In the UK here, we got something they call home office. Home office have every one of us record. Passport, driving license, they have it. So if somebody who work with home office come out to say, look, we're monitoring you just to let you know this is a big fish in the Liberian community. We have his passport to show you that I work with these people. So Marie, please mute yourself. That we work with these people, but I'm just giving you a tip that you need to be mindful. For Tommy George to come and say this brother that work with Homeland Security met him in Trenton and tip off that Mr. Cummings' document and center document, they have about the monitoring center. The fact is that he mentioned Mr. Cummings' passport. Mr. Cummings can now go to Homeland Security. How come an employee from that end taking his passport to show to somebody that his personal document, that his privacy, that not being out there, that brother can be sacked. He can be prosecuted for what he have done. Tommy George too can face trial for what he have just done. So that's something that if I were Mr. Cummings, I would go after Timothy George. He need to call that brother name because who else this brother have shown Mr. Cummings' passport to? So I want your take on this, Linford.
You see, for me, even the mention of Mr. Cummings' name or about his passport, for me, it doesn't really review any threat, because what he said was that, if you listen to him, he said the Homeland Security is monitoring all the people who go in and out. And I think, again, this is my honest opinion, I think this brother of ours who, because he said he's a Liberian, so we are all brothers, who works with the Homeland Security, was trying to, confirm to him that, no, listen, we are monitoring this guy. Okay, we got a guy on the radar. Okay, and we got his passport. In fact, you see, here is Mr. Cummings in the passport. Because, of course, Mr. Cummings in the Liberian society, he's no small man out there. So if Mr. Cummings is going anywhere, people will know, especially in America. Mr. Cummings lives in America for years, and if he's traveling anywhere, people will know. And I can, for me, I've talked to a lot of ANC people today about this thing when I receive it, okay? And we try to argue it, or one of those people who felt that there will be some threat. But let's look at how long has Mr. Cummings been in Liberia, okay? For more than almost 7-8 years now, constantly. But at that same time, he's also been visiting the US every now and then. If there was anything on Mr. Cummings, it would have come out, especially when he's running to be president.
It's not about something on him. This
Yeah,
man
but the point I'm making, a
his
lot of people are taking
passport.
it. A lot of people are
No,
taking it
no,
out of
no.
context.
Listen.
Mhm.
So your passport, somebody went to Marie, say, look, I got link for passport. Your passport not supposed to be anyone's possession.
No, but
That's your
but
privacy.
the man is homeland security. He has a
No,
right.
no, it matter. You see, look, I work this is security. That's why when you apply for something, they tell you, say, it will not be, it's your own privacy. Anybody that gave your information or they are liable. It's
I
your
agree. I know that part I
information.
agree to, Paul. That part I
So,
agree to.
but
Privacy.
let me learn on this.
Okay.
Because I work with home office here, which is like the immigration, I have access to a database of everybody in the UK. But if I take your document that you breach the security law of that institution to go show to somebody, say, just to let you know, I work with these people, I got all of your details. Just to give you an example, this is one of your big fish for you to be convinced. He breached, that's a breach of
I,
security.
I,
And
I
he can go
agree.
to prison for a very long time. He's
I
not
agree.
supposed to do it.
I
You
agree.
see?
But the point I was trying to make is that a lot of people were panicking, that, oh no, for the man to show Mr. Cummings' passport. And I was like, okay, you know what? Look, Mr. Cummings is not one small guy, like one guy like me who is just one yakwa. No. This man goes in and out, he's well recognized. And so I think the reason why that guy, I'm gonna give him my opinion, the reason why that guy, if he did show Mr. Cummings' passport, the reason he did it is because he really wanted to confirm. But it's a breach of security, I agree. I agree to that 100%. Okay, he should not have done that. It's the homeland that will deal with him because I know this thing will reach to him. I mean, to the homeland.
So before Marie coming, this is the point I made. I said Tommy George, he
Yes.
knew that his own brother, Liberian brother, came to give you a tip. So
He just dumped the guy.
if you go to the public to explain, what if I were in his shoe, I'll say, look, I met a Liberian brother, or I met somebody, but I cannot call that, not even mention Liberia. Somebody who work with the homeland, talk to me that they have document on Stanton Wollaspoon, and they even have document of some of our political leaders.
Good.
So, and he showed me picture of some of the political leader, but I won't call name. That's what he should have done. But the fact that he called Mr. Cummings' name in this, that this guy had Mr. Cummings' passport in his possession, that's confidentiality he had breached. And Tommy George could be liable. He can be sued. He will identify that person, and that person could go to prison. That breach of security, no matter how we put it. My personal detail not supposed to be in a stranger hand.
No, I
And
agree. I
that's
agree.
yeah.
But yeah, my thing here with that whole thing is that because it was like I told you, I've been talking to a lot of people today, and they are panicking. Oh, this could cause big problem for me. So I said, no, what problem will it cause? This the homeland security guard that showed Mr. Cummings' passport to allegedly show the passport to Merlin George is not powerful more than the homeland security itself. And again, like I said, probably he was trying to, our Liberian people, the man want to make sure that what he saying is true. He said, my man, they tell you, like, yeah, look at this. And you see,
That I agree with you. That I agree. He was trying to pinch his brother. Be careful, just be careful. But this brother
yeah.
now, he go on the you see in this world here, these were the people when God ready to show people in a way they can show them out. These were the guys day and night on that spoon talk. They were behind Mr. Cummings every day. How the man done did. He finger document. The men are criminal. See what happening now? He had put himself in a situation that he, Tomani, may not handle. He will be forced to show this person who have Mr. Cummings' passport in his possession. He's not family to Mr. Cummings. What is he doing with Mr. Cummings' document? That's the question. He worked with Homeland Security. That you cannot take somebody document. That's confidentiality. He breached it. He can go to prison for a long time. So if Mr. Cummings go after Timothy George somebody judge, Mr. Comey can even sue the Homeland Security.
Yeah, but
How come?
We don't know the protocol that
Oh,
Homeland Security does.
In the
Probably.
Western world, me and you live. Listen to this.
Hold on, let me learn.
Let me finish first, then you can come. In the Western world where me and you live, you can even sue your prime minister, you can sue your king, because when they breach something, the law there to protect you. A home office in the UK made mistake, they can be sued. You know that? It can happen.
I agree. But I'm trying to make a different point. Because you are saying that what is this guy doing with Mr. Cummings' passport and even Stanton document? What I'm trying to say is we don't know how their modus operandi. We don't know how they operate. It could be like, you know, people from a certain region, they will assign them to details and say, "Look, listen, my man, you from Liberia, okay? Because go take one guy from Mexico and put him to monitor Liberia. I mean, no, nobody.
He's still British. He's still.
I agree. No, I'm not arguing this. Well, the point that Paul is saying that what is this guy doing with the document? So I'm trying to say that maybe they could assign people from a certain area, certain region of the world. Now, take me. Okay, I'm a Liberian, right? I'm working in Norwegian security force. If I'm working in Norwegian security force, then you go tell me to go monitor some subjects from Afghanistan. I don't know that. I don't even understand that language. I don't know if they talk. I will not identify them from people from Iran or anything. So the point I'm trying to make is, and we all get brainstorming, and that goes directly to the point where Paul is saying, what is this Liberian guy allegedly doing with Mr. Cummings' passport? So I'm trying to say probably it could be that this is how the homeland will operate. People from a certain region, you assign them to their region and say, "Oh, listen, you monitor your subject because you know who they are and you can easily identify them." And so, but it's not a fact. I'm not surmising. But the fact here is that was a breach of security. Like says Dolly wrote here, in Norway, not says Dolly, but Orito. Here we signed. Since Dolly actually wrote it previously that we signed agreement of confidentiality. I think in the Norwegian language, I think if I'm not mistaken, that's what we call that. He has split that anything that happens where you work, you do not take information from there out to anybody, even to your family. You don't do that.
Mr. Paul Langford, even you're working in a cleaning in a cleaning company.
Plus everybody.
Cleaning company, you're not allowed to take no information from there or even breach Data Protection Act. The Data Protection Act, you're not allowed to breach it. Even in cleaning companies, I want to talk about where security, how high the Data Protection Act might be, because it go, Data Protection Act, so they got the basic, they got the number 2, they got number 3, they got number 4, they got all the way up to a PhD level Data Protection Act. And you in a security environment, and then you're taking a presidential candidate passport and showing it to your peers, and you taking it and you say, and Mr. You say, and then he's thinking to himself, it's a normal thing. You're going to praise him for it because you're breaking the company protocol.
I will go back to remembering some of what the theory Tomalin George used to say on the Spoon talk show. I've always heard him. He was very famous for saying this word. He would say, from now until election, there will be several things will be happening. Big things will be happening. So you see, they say when you hold a rope, you go in the bush, you see the whole forest. Then you come one rope, you start holding it. That rope is wrapped around some tree. As you're holding it, that tree, you're holding that tree. Then that tree is holding the other branch of the other tree. Then plenty people get involved. So, I think this thing, it was. Anyway, they say, try not for rat alone. The time trial is set a long time ago for other people. And if you look at how they were operating, and in recent time, Tomalin George was taking certain stance against the ANC that, the only way ANC or NFAS, Mr. Cummings can, become president is to go as vice, because that's what the people want. And Eugene Franco have been singing that sing song of late. And I don't understand why would people think that the only way Cummings can become president is to go as vice president. So, he doesn't have to be president anyway, by all costs. But it's his right to contest like any other person. So why would you shape his destiny by saying the only way he can become is to go out? So what gave that other person the right to be the president that somebody will have to go second to him? If that just like Jesus Christ come and say the only way he can go to the Father is through me. Okay. So okay. Yeah.
But Jesus Christ did say that though.
No, it says, yeah, of course, in the Bible, the only way you can go to the Father, you don't come to the Father except by me.
Except through me.
Yeah, because he had infinite power. He had that power. That's why he came in. But one man who got it right, like any other person will say to the other people, the only way you can become president is unless you be next to me. It doesn't make sense for me.
So Linford, they think about the confidentiality that has been breached here. You see, when people buy off other people, and this is when I ask him why they left Stanton, because this is where he exhibit to by putting somebody on the bus that, oh, this person came to me and he told me that he gave Mr. Cummings passport to take.
That was really naivety.
You see, that's the point I'm making. You don't do that. So he put his brother in trouble. And that's what I'm saying, because he put his brother in trouble. And I'm going to play something else regarding this phone talk. You know, I've been telling you for long that the idea of this phone talk, it was not his idea. You see, in left, when you steal somebody's idea,
and we gotta be careful. We gotta be careful to how we hitting hard on people.
Because my own, I talk with facts. When you steal somebody's idea and you run with it, you're not wrong with it the way it's supposed to be. That's life. And I will play something from the original, the person who this idea came from. He even called on our show to talk to Liberians, begging Liberians, say, you're sorry. They men took my ideas and ran with it. So I want our listener to listen to this, what I'm going to play. The same program. So just listen to this. As for the giant Gade, he was the original person behind. He was the brain of this thing. Listen to this.
Go ahead, Mr. Gale, the giant.
Well, again, I just want to apologize to the Liberian people. I brought in trouble on all of you. Still was being a lesson school. I said, my man, radio is powerful. I do radio business. And when we got into the business, I said, I'm sure I'll give you 30% take in this. I'll buy a ticket, go out there. I said, okay, when I buy the ticket, I'll find my own car to drive and get my own place to stay. I worked hard, took a motel for $25. Built the platform from the ground up. I went for 2 weeks. I invested 2 months in Liberia. Just after inauguration, only the family that they born is so wicked and greedy, arrogant, narcissistic human being. He wants everything for himself. And for Eugene Fangon to come out to say, I'm letting in Liberian people to go above. I never met Eugene Fangon in my whole life. We only spoke on the phone. When I told Fangon I was in Liberia, it's 2020. I established Spoon long before Fangon got appointed to the government. So he lied on my name. And guys, take courage. Take courage. You guys got patient. I couldn't stay on with Stanton for 3 years. That's why I left. And up to today, Stanton will call my name until God calls him. Because with God above, I made that little boy. But his own arrogance got him to where he's at today. Thank you.
You heard it. This is what I've been.
Just before I give my input, Richard is saying that I should not defend this. I'm not defending. I know about target split. I know about confidentiality. The work we do, especially I got at the height of my journalistic career at the wrong time, during the war time, where life was nothing. Your life was like breathe, like chicken fella. Somebody can blow in 1 minute. So we walk the chalk line. And so I know I don't defend things like that, but I just sometimes it's good to play the devil's advocate so that people will understand, because many people think different ways. Yeah, Paul, continue.
So I told you guys on this show many times that that idea was never Stanton idea. Stanton was in his nursing business, doing his thing. In 2016, Ashwa got it. We all from Jaratan. We met him in Jaratan and said, "Big brother, the thing I'm going to do in Liberia, it will be big." So he said the radio station are coming our way. He told me. So he left. He met me in Liberia after the election. He said, "You stay here?" I said, "I stay here." He said, "Oh, they think everything on course." If I'm a business that I established in Liberia, he said, "Look, I will help. The station will help to promote you." It's something that he told me about. I knew long about. So when the material last, when I asked Asher, he said the man messed with him. He messed with him, and that's the exact word. So I wanted you guys to listen to what Asher said because it was his idea, because he come from that journalistic background, and he had the thing, the way he wanted to structure it, that you have Africa, Europe, America come together to have the big platform. That was his dream. If you don't have your dream, somebody sell their dream to you and you run with it like your own, it can crumble in the end. And that's my opinion. That's how I see it. This is what has happened. Stanton have no idea of this.
Many businesses have been taken over by other people and they succeeded.
I
let me tell you one thing.
I agree.
Yeah.
Well, no, the thing is, it will succeed. But your dream, when you dream about something, Linford, the way you vision your dream, even if I steal your idea, it's not your vision. That vision that you have, I cannot carry on that vision. Marie, the business person, she'll tell you, if you dream that, oh, I'm going to build this mansion or I'm going to build this castle, in your dream, you know that how the chair's going to be, how everything going to be in that castle. But because I told you about this castle, you went and built a castle. But that chair and table that's supposed to be there, it will not be because you had a dream. And that dream, if somebody take away your dream and run with it, at some point it crumbles. That's what I try. It's my opinion. That's how I see it. And this is why the Spoon Network, because it was not his dream, and this person being arrogant. And in that clip, Astro God said, "But you work with him for all." I wouldn't have worked with him for long. Because they themselves, they were enjoying the guy work. That's why I asked that question earlier. Say, why now? They knew this guy was not good. They sat there for 3 years, did a bad thing with him. In the end, when he crumbled, then they all started to run away. And that's the point I'm making.
Yeah, you see, again, maybe when I talk, most people would think that I'm backing or I'm supporting certain things. The thing is, you commit yourself sometimes, and you talked earlier on about marriage, right? Sometimes you see the beautiful woman or the woman see you for the first time, and when you start newly, they will not see the bad side of each other until when you get into it, and then you say, "Oh, but it's late now, but what I'll do? Let me just be there, let me just be there." So at that because you see, most marriages that break up do not break up right during the wedding day or from the first time they meet. They will meet each other or they met each other. You will get to know the person, and then as you get to know the person, maybe certain things you say, "Okay, I will just get used to it 1 year." Okay, maybe the woman when she can put salt, but I'll be putting my own salt. Or they may when he's sleeping, he can snore too much, but I'll just cover my ear. No, there's a certain thing you can take in in a relationship. So I think these guys were trying to be committed and say, well, let's just try. But then it reached a point where at least they just have to make a decision.
No. I will hold it there before Marie come in. So if you have accident now and they took you to JFK, then you say, "Oh, I get an opportunity now because the guy can snow. Let me run away as a woman." Then you're a bad woman. That's the point you're making there.
No,
you start on there. You leave because because it can snow, I'm gonna walk away. Now you have accident. They took you to the hospital and say, "Hallelujah! This is the perfect time for me to run away."
Yeah, the men will snow, then go get accident again. So
yeah, so you run away now. You leave in the same bed.
No man, let me soft on the show here. Let me see because
This other show tonight is funny.
I'm getting scary now because people will say, "Oh, they should sit down and talk about wait stop." But on a serious note, gentlemen, on a serious note, or what happened? They will raise. Mary, you want to come in? Yeah, come in,
No,
Mary.
everything you guys are saying, like I'm in full agreement. It's just most especially Paul is on it tonight. He's really like
Yeah, tonight is first night.
Paul is really on it tonight. He's really educating the audience tonight and me as well. So yeah, so I'll let you guys flow.
Me, I'm trying to be a little bit careful because when you lift heavyweight before that, anytime you see what happened to Sancho now, because you see the thing is the guys they were enjoying what they were doing. It's very easy to press. I don't know whether Paul you remember. I think one of our shows, I said something. I remember vividly. I said people will always say the press can build you, and then you in the press, we can build ourselves. But we can break ourselves down in 1 minute. The same way the press can build somebody, you can break them down in 1 minute. And so this is a job that is very sensitive. Let me tell you, everything you say, people take you seriously. Let one Joe Blow girl and go and stand on Broad Street and say the heaven coming down. They will say, that man a drunken man. In fact, so that man move from here. But let one of the renowned journalists in Liberia get and go stand and say the heaven is coming down. They'll say, oh, who said it? And I'm not working with EFBC.
Exactly.
Hey, my man, you see people parking alone. I will give you a sample, short example. When we're working during the wartime, in the war, we're always around the battlefront era. And so I remember working Habel for some time from 1991 to 93. And Habel, the whole of Habel, first one was practically surviving on the radio station that we had. Because we kept broadcasting and people felt to the point where they walking was seeing smell notice and people were fighting. People were still living happy, everything was going on because we kept giving the people hope and we were operating normally until we felt that we should leave. I was the last person in the radio for complete 3 days. All of the people had left, most of my friends had left. And then we decided to close down that night. When we closed down, and my witness is the late Hezekiah Bowen. That man in Monrovia, he was monitoring us until he met me in Monrovia. The first time I ever saw him at the executive mansion, somebody just called my name. He said, "Oh, is that a link for your calling?" He said, I remember your job in Greater Liberia. You were one of my in fact, you were the one that I always used to listen to. You were not to politics, you were doing your development, and I listened to you. You were the last person on the radio when you shut down. I said, yeah. Cold bonking on my skin. Because if I were one of those who was saying all the bad things, and that man was listening to me, and that man was, who was he? He was a rural development minister at that time. He has to get into Taylor government. Okay. So the thing we're doing, you can build yourself up, you can break yourself down. And we got to be careful what we say. Because anything you say, people will take it for seriousness. Okay? Anything you say, how many people, when Mr. Cumming, when they case in against Mr. Cumming, how many people are not ready on Facebook? Or somebody read something, you're good, your course each other, you say going by your business. But when we say it, anything we say, they will say, oh, that people who should be on the bottom line, that is Spoon people, if Sancho was just on our Facebook, you saw who will come and talk out and who get time for them. Nobody, as you speak in some people on your own life, they're causing you. I mean, hear anything. But when we talk, we make impact. That's what I'm talking to journalists as a whole, or people who are in the media. You may not be a journalist, but you can say be in the media. We got to be careful what we say because people hold us accountable for what we say because people believe in us. They believe that we know plenty. Not that we know plenty. When I was working as a reporter, so now I wake up in the morning, I know nothing. I go on Broad Street. That Broad Street opening there. You buy there, you're drinking that when you can get your information. So we gotta be careful. And this is where Central are. But then let me ask a question. You want to come in, Paul?
Yeah, what I wanted to say, you're right. This guy had 3 radio stations. He had 3 radio stations in Liberia. And 3 radio stations, you don't know the audience that they were reaching. So they have voice. They have huge voice. So things that they were saying, the bad thing they were saying, it sank in with a lot of people because our society, the society you come from. Earlier on, I said people were born in darkness. And anything these guys say, oh, it was okay. They were saying the right thing.
Yeah, that's
Or
the point
that,
I was making.
yeah,
Yeah.
so they were saying the right thing. So and he found that this guy who now he have not found guilty yet until innocent until found guilty. He have talked onto the platform to tell other people over there that they were just bad apples. He went to the extent that he was calling a political leader, this man, he's not good for the country, he can finger document. That's the message you are selling. And that thing sang with a lot of people. So today, now I said these guys have no right leaving him. They should have just been there to the end of the whole thing. I'm not
Okay.
putting. They were supposed to stay with him, no matter
Okay. Then
what internal
the final
clashes.
question. The final
Yeah.
question on our whole topic is where you think the platform is leading to now. Are they heading to destruction? Is this their end, or you think they're going to survive and come back?
No, the platform will survive. And what happened here now, it will survive in a way. The sort of message they're supposed to sell. This is the time from what I'm looking at from a distance. This is what the platform will do. They will bring like-minded people on that platform to educate people in a way on certain things. For example, we're going to election. That platform was so big like that, they never talk about any of those political party manifesto that they're running with that people can learn and see which party have the best to pick their candidate. But instead, they've been going after people and making it look. You remember once upon a time, they were promoter of the government. Nothing bad that George Weah did. That same platform graded George Weah, I think 80% for the work he have done. They were pushing that line until McGill, who was one of the prime sponsor of that platform, was indicted and was removed from his job. That's where things started falling apart. So they have not come together to say, look, let's educate our people on how to vote. We're not taking side. Although anyone tells you they don't take side, they have a side. But let people make up their own mind by saying, look, Teron is seeing this. When he become president, this is what he will do. Cummings is seeing this. When he become president, this is what he will do. Boakai is seeing this. He become president, this is what he will do. And the sitting government, you already know what they have done because we don't have to tell you. But these are the people that want to unsee it. They have not done it. Maybe this time round, that platform now will start looking at, when you talk about rebranding, it's the kind of thing that you do to start looking at who should be the best person. These are the issue that should be discussing. Those people platform that they're running with. And the people that sitting now listening already will pick the best of all among those people who want to unsee we are. Educate the people. If somebody come to you with one cup of rice that we were talking earlier, Father, eat it. But that should not give you the right to sell your vote. That platform should be used to educate the people, teach them the direction where to go, how to make their decision. But instead of going after people because you don't want this person to be, you hate this person, then they done themselves injustice. So I think the group that left, the new group that coming in, may see logic to do that.
Okay, Marie, the same question comes to you. Where you think the platform is heading to? Is it going to be like before? Is it going to be better, or is it going to be worse?
For me, I'm a very honest person. I'm going to be very honest on the platform, on the show tonight. I haven't really been following up the Spoon story. Hasn't I only really quite actually hear about it on the bottom line, to be honest. I haven't really kind of like followed them up to give you an accurate answer that is going to benefit our audience and to the audience of this Spoon TV. But if you ask me for what I have gathered and what I have researched over the time being on the bottom line, I would tell you, um, I don't, I kind of have a question mark, as in I don't know where they're heading right now. On the only way that they can head in a positive direction it's like what Paul mentioned earlier. If they rebrand and reposition the platform in a way that is very educative, because we have to bear in mind, they have got audience. They have got audience because it's the platform been running for quite a while. I saw loads of videos on them. So I haven't sat down to watch the videos, but I just see it's all about, it's very debative platform, to be honest. And have got audience. So if they reposition the platform, redo the business model, and also we put it in the change a lot of stuff on it, I can see it going in a positive direction. It doesn't matter what happened in the background. Every business have a default, so it's how you transform that default and go forward is what that counts. So if they transform it in a positive way going forward, I mean, we're in a digital age. Everybody glued to the TV nowadays, or to the phone. So if they turn it in an educated way, where they address their audience, but with a different approach and stop being insulting to other people, then I see it going in a positive direction. But if they come with the same strategy, the same business communication, the same, branding style, the same presentation style, I don't see it going in a positive direction.
Yeah, you both are right, and this is what makes bottom line what it is. We elevate the issue, we discuss it, we lay it to rest with our own opinions and on how things are. And like we always say, our opinions may not be true, but they're not false either, because this is what we feel, and nobody can tell us, nobody can judge for us. It's left with you to believe what we say or to reject it and to have different opinion. But this is it, because nobody can decide for anybody. My honest opinion on the whole issue here is as to where the platform is headed is yes, I cannot pass a verdict that the platform will collapse. It will survive, the Paul said, but it will have to depend henceforth, fast forward, how they will rebrand it. Because the thing is that the platform itself and the individuals that were there have already run into credibility issues, okay, from the CEO and even down to the breakaway people, okay. So some people will say, well, right now, if you look at the discussion surrounding this whole thing, there are two sides. One group will say, oh no, the people should not have broken away, they betrayed the man. Then some people will say, yeah, they were right. What they were doing there, in fact, all that time. See, so the debate will always be there. But how to mend, how to stand between the two sides, the side that support and the side that against. So then the rebranding will have to actually happen in a way that they have to take issues from different perspectives, probably from the perspective where they will be neutral, play that role as a media empire, as a media institution, where they will not be, let me tell you, nobody should lie to you and say people in the media do not have political interest. That lie. They are human beings. They can vote. Let me tell you, a judge and a judge in the court, the moment two people go there to go judge, the judge would, between people, the judge will begin, naturally the judge will begin to let one person of the case, lay the case one side, but you bring two people in front of the judge, you will let either the height of one person or the build of one person. It's natural with all human. Then now the case can come. Who is right, who is not wrong will go by the legal process. But if you ask the people, who ask the judge, between the two people, who you like, you will say, I like the other person. Whether they're wrong party, but at least that is choice. So the thing is, the guys who will rebrand this thing will have to really be careful, and they have to take it from the perspective where the people are in their mind when they're rebranding. This is what the people want to know. This is what the people want to see on the show or hear on the show. Okay, instead of saying, well, they put their political interests ahead. I mean, the show was, you could see the show that it was taking a part in where you got one moderator, he's for the government, whether the thing he's discussing is true about the government, but that moderator want to trace the truth to the force. You see, so the show itself was like, every time I watch that show, I was like, what is the trust? Because in journalism, there's something called trust. Okay, if you're discussing any issue, there must be a trust. There's something that you're moving at, that you want to achieve. Okay, but the guys will talk, and then they will end up arguing, and so I was always like, what do they want to achieve? So the new branding, I hope they will take all of that into consideration and build on the past mistakes that they saw that led to what happened. So like Paul said, okay, it's going to survive, but it's going to be a little bit hard to make it. They will make it, but they have to rebrand, make it in a way that it will suit the purpose. So with all that said,
Lanford, let me just add to you, Lanford. Yeah, if which is we kind of like more focusing on the branding side of the business. So if they go through a change management process, the platform will survive.
Right.
Because you're not gonna focus so much on the brand. The brand is there, it's already there. That's not the brand that is causing this default. What is causing the default is the management system that is in place. So if they go through a change management process, go through change the management style, they will definitely survive. Because the brand is there, it's not going to go away. It's there. You go on Google, Spoon TV, it's there. It's not. That's not that external. That they already capture the external environment with the brand. Now, the management style is the one that is affecting the brand. Sorry. So if they need to fundamentally think how to go forward, and I believe how to go forward is to go into the change management process.
Right. So on that note, Marie, you have a show tomorrow, right?
Paul will say, I want topic.
Yeah.
She have a show tomorrow, so I just want her to talk about this for our audience quickly. Marie?
Hello, everyone. This is Marie. We're having our live stream tomorrow. It's going to be on the bottom line Liberia, as you all know, and it's going to be the Women Hour. And we're going to, as you can see, it's Heidi beautifully bold in writing how our topic is going to be like. So it's going to be three of us, and we're going to focus on the young generation mental health, and also, then connected to the Valentine's, because not many people understand Valentine's. This is what we added in, because Valentine is about love. And the themes for this year, mental health, for the young generation, is let's connect. So we combining those two topics together, providing solution going forward. So that's us, yes.
Thank you. So Marie and her team will be live tomorrow on Butterline, and we're looking forward to that program. So to our viewer, please join us tomorrow on Butterline. They call it the Women's Hour. So Linford Flow.
And just to add a little bit, I think the men need to be here mostly. You see, because the women, when you hear, not because you hear is Women's Hour, so it means that women. Let the men be here to learn. You see, because we need to the men, we need to listen to the women and get some clues. Somebody told me women get plenty time with them.
It's not loud.
No, it's not loud. The first thing, my first example is that woman is brave more than men. They play where men scared to pass, woman can pass that quick. Yeah, during the war time, who was running up and down with the women? But man, when you open the door, you hear the guns and you go back. Okay. Okay, the final thing we're going to talk about right here is old man Joe Boakai is one of the presidential candidate in the race.
My favorite guy.
They all fight president all the time. And they all, maybe some people don't know about the old man. The old man come from Lofa County in a place called Foya. The old man walked from Foya to Morovia. Yeah? The old man say he walked from Foya to Morovia. Paul, you heard any story about the Billy Goat? There's something about Billy Goat. I forgot that whole story.
That Jay Rennie get a Billy Goat story with the old man. I heard that Billy Goat story. Yeah, I heard about a Billy Goat story that he was broke and he and his brother, they went to sell this goat to the Fuller man. According to Jay Rennie, when they took the goat to the fuller man, the goat was so malnourished, the fuller man didn't want to buy the goat. So they took the goat back home. And he fed the goat with salt. So he took the same goat to the fuller man. And the fuller man said, "It's not a goat you brought." He said, "Oh, no, that different goat." And he sold this goat to the fuller man. So that's Jay Rennie's story that he then run away with it. The story.
Right, see, but the Papa is very crusty. Imagine the Papa walk from Lofa to Monrovia. So the Papa that's from Papa. But the Papa, he had been in government for more than 40 years when some of us were crawling. And then the Papa, he did well. When they fire him, he will fire high, come back. The other government can fire him, he can't give up, he still come back. So the old man, he lost government job. And then the old man fought high, became first president. Now, the old man can rest. He said, me, I got to be president. So all the people that came, they want to be president. The old man say, we all know, I can't get tired. I can't get tired, I will be president. So they say only. Now, the old man say, he now start laying a play off. The old man say, when he win, I talk to our Liberia people now. The old man say, the day he win the election, one of the things he will do is, all the people for the war, the big people now in the war, not the small children who are having the gun running between the hall, but the big people there who are the commander there, you call them war law. Okay, that are the white people can call them. He says he will make sure he sent all of them. He will, in fact, the guy one big word called indict or indictment. It means it will lay the war case on their head, say that your brother warrior, so you can't go explain. And he said one of the people he will carry that Prince Johnson. But why when they walk in, every time that Prince Johnson need, they can call. Job only they say that one, but smart in that Prince Johnson. And then Prince Johnson now do all kind of things with them. One war criminal thing here, they war crime thing here. Prince Johnson now support almost all the politicians in Liberia. He went to Ellen, he see him way clear. Then he moved from there. He go to Georgia. What happened? He moved from there to Georgia. Now they feel they been visiting Papa Boakai. But Papa Boakai say, Mama, you visiting me over. If I win, I will send all of you. So, Paul, the question here is, I'll ask two questions. One is, the open want to make Prince Johnson scary, or so that Prince Johnson can cut D and say, Papa, don't send me, but I'll support you, or the old man very serious, and can we trust him?
In the world, they say politician not to be trusted. Any politician, don't trust politician. Politician not to be trusted. A politician will give you a word today, tomorrow, they will not deliver. I can refer to somebody, it happened in the UK here. David Cameron, who was the prime minister, and another guy from the Liberal Democrat called Nick Clegg. Nick Clegg promised the student that when he take office, it will be tuition free. And they had a vote. Then what happened when he took office? Nick Clegg gave 360 only. He could not deliver what he promised. See? So they say politicians are people that cannot be trusted. If a politician gave you a word, say, I will do this, and then time comes, they don't do it. George Weah promised to prosecute people that brought war. When he took office, he ever spoke of it? He gave you 10. So remember, people want the seat. They will say all the sweet things now. You have to read between the lines. I will indict all of them that brought war. But his key financier is Benena Ure. Who is in? Will he indict Benena Ure? So you cannot pick one person, all of the pack, and say this. If you're going for all of them, the main people that financing you, they're part of the parcel. So don't trust what
but
politicians
it's Prince Johnson and others do. So maybe.
But that's what the people that brought the war. So Benena Ure then was spending money, bringing headquarters and all that. You know the story. But he is one of the key men behind him. But Prince Johnson is the man that name they always put in front. Then when time comes, they get U-10. So never trust those people on war economic crime. The reason why I'm saying this, these very people sat there 12 years. When the TRC report came in that they're not supposed to sell because of their bad behavior, they're all part of that war. Remember, their papa was, I think, mayor in the Doe government.
Yeah, but all the ministers were mayor do.
Exactly. And Doe government and Prince Johnson went on it. So all of them played their part in this war. So when they sit by and they say, I will prosecute, forget that nonsense talk. Because in Liberia, when they say, if he pull rope pull bush, he may be pulling himself. So I wouldn't trust what he's saying. They all want the seat. So when you want a seat, you say the sweet things.
Yeah, but somebody will say he's saying that so Prince Johnson will check. The Liberian with Prince Johnson say, oh, but then let me go support the Papa. Then Papa was okay. Behind close with you, so okay. Same my man saying, I just said that you were saying come and support me. I will not do it. So it's a bait that you throw in the water.
But
probably you grab the
before
big
Marie
booger.
gets into the topic, they seen Prince Johnson today here in George. We are going to the pulpit, they go back and forth. Tomorrow, don't be surprised, see Prince Johnson behind we are. These people cannot be trusted. That's the bottom line of it. They cannot be trusted. So all of them playing this game, they're trying to buy vote. They will use Prince Johnson's name, that the CDC government used his name over and over until they got into office. So why don't you think Unity Party will do? They will use Prince Johnson's name to and come to presidents. That's what they intend to do. Remember, Prince Johnson Church, the 3 monsters still that visited Prince Johnson Church, where they came from, Unity Party, they backing Prince Johnson. They Mo Ali, the party secretary, the other one. They want to Prince Johnson Church say, yeah, they may preaching go against George Weah. They don't trust those people. They want this man vote. So they will say, oh, let's use Prince Johnson name to get the public on our side, but in the end, it's not going to happen. It's just sweet talk. We have seen this over and over. The people that will say, they will not call name, but they're telling you, say, look, if we take state power, people who they bar will face the court. Whenever a lead us will bring you, they don't call name. Mr. Cummings keeps saying he will set up a ministry or czar that they will put everything on the table. When your name come, I'll say leave for one name come out, I want a bad person, you will face the law. And whatever outcome of that law, if you found guilty, you face the weight. If you don't found guilty, you go free. This is the point I'm trying to make. The matter people calling Prince Johnson name, they just using Prince Johnson name as the benchmark for people to go on their side. They're not going to do jack to Prince Johnson. That's what I'm trying to say.
Marie, what do you think? Why do you think they're using Prince Johnson name? They're making it scary?
To be quite honest with you, I grew up over here, so I'm not really in that much details.
I will understand. I will very
I'm
well.
I'm not really in that much details with the Liberian politics, but
yeah,
if I like, oh my God, I don't know what to say because I don't know. I can't give you an answer to that because I don't know.
Okay.
I'm looking forward to it now. I'm looking forward to it.
I will respect that because I know it's like me asking my daughter about the war. She would tell me, "But you know, I was born August 24, 1990." Then you asking me, yeah. So I will. You see, this is where every time we talk, we blame the now generation for most of what we're going through because this new generation. I mean, imagine Omari being in Liberia as part of the voter. So she would vote for anybody that the crowd is behind, saying, oh, the person is popular because she doesn't know. And we don't, no, when we talk about the now generation, we are not blaming you. We are not blaming the now generation, but when they talk about you because you don't know. And the fact that you are not willing to, somebody are not willing to learn is a problem. I say you're talking so that you resonate. Somebody will just come from where the person, not even your Facebook friend, they can't cause you. And they go on. Yeah, the person know what's going on. You see, I was talking to somebody, my brother, my little brother, this morning, and the beginning got on my nerves. While we're talking, he's beginning to tell me, come and take to go as vice president to the seat. So I said, why? He said, that I want because I want everybody want. Oh, so you won't care for your future for the next 6 years, but you care for what everybody want. That we should vote for Boakai because that's what everybody want. So what about you? What do you think about your future? And then he was like, but myself, even I can think about it, but that's what everybody want. You see, so this is the mentality our people get. And majority of the voters, that is young people. Liberia is a very young country in terms of young population. So this is where we got problem. But we just need to continue to bang the table, and it is about personal discussion with people. And so now when you engage them, you talk to them because they don't know. So Paul, I don't know if there's any more thing that we can talk about, but that's a Prince Johnson and Boakai thing. Like you said, we can't trust them. All politicians, we can't trust them, especially in Liberia, where they maneuver the people bring because they put not thinking for themselves. They will follow the crowd. They will take decision because somebody say let's do it. So
but Linford, you see, this is why when if you have a bigger platform like the Spoon that we just talked about, and he kept saying that he does not have any SAR. If you claim to not have SAR, then what you do? You say because the country have gone so bad, we will educate our people. Yeah, they make sound decision. But you don't have a SAR. You pick on one politician over and over that this person, he's a finger roll, he tamper with document, this person, this. You have a SAR. And that's what made our platform so dangerous to the Liberian environment. And if they can rebrand it, not rebrand, Maurice said they need new management problem, the management structure.
Change management, definitely. So they have to
So
go to change management process in order
that's
for the
where you educate people, say no. Because remember, it's not only presidential candidate people are going to vote for, they're going to vote for senators and representatives. You're not in a local area, but you need to educate the people in a way that if this guy who live in Zin house don't have his own house and come to you say he won't represent you, on what ground he must go steal on your expense? This is what Sir Joe said. The Thomas Fowler then became millionaire in Liberia over there on the expense of the people. This why they need to educate the people, tell them these are things indicators of why you should watch for. Ask your question. There must be a debate. Let them have town hall meeting. They people must ask them question. Why should I give him a vote instead of you bringing cup of rice and $10? So that platform, that's what they should have done to educate the people. If the politician promise you that he will build this roads or schools or hospital, and mark his word, he said, I will build hospital that you will go to hospital free. When I make kind of power, you don't have that free hospital. The next election, you kicking out because he lied to you. Educate the people on what they should vote for. So if you lay out every one platform that is running, the people will sit by and say, wow, you mean this person going with this person going with that? Let me see what one that I will benefit from, because if you vote somebody, you need to benefit from what you're voting. You're not just going to vote somebody because the person popular. It's what that person going to do. We're going to change your life. We're going to change your children's life, because the decision that person made got effect on you. So that's what that platform should have done. But instead, they confuse people, like what you are just seeing, that, oh, Mr. Comimo, go number 2. Where they haul it from? They see Tomlin George, that crying wolf, and Ben Savage. They're the one who are calling for the nonsense on that platform. Oh, it must be opposition, unity, it must be this. The last election, over 3 million Liberians did not vote. So if that 3 million turn out to vote, where the opposition unity have to be in this? The people, the people, if you educate them, they will make up their mind, they will make their own judgment and go and vote for the right people for themselves. but not telling people this person bad, you go with this person because the person popular, the person been in government from 1950 before my mom was born, and this person have not changed Liberia, but in the 90s they coming down, that when they will change the country, that nonsense should stop. This is what we're seeing. Lay out a platform for the people to pick the right person for that job.
Well, I think much said. So tonight, this is the bottom line. If you join here for the first time, we're here every Tuesday and Friday. And so the next time we're going to be here will be Friday. And you are welcome to join us. But Marie, this is the general bottom line, but the general platform, the bottom line. But on this bottom line, we also have individual programs that come that Marie has. They're going to be introducing their Women's Hour tomorrow, so you can join them. And I guess it's going to be every Wednesday from now on. So you can join them tomorrow. And it's not only for women, the men are also invited. And Paul, can you put on the Mr. Cummings visit to the Scandinavia Sunday? Mr. Cummings is going to be in Scandinavia. He was in Germany last July at our invitation, the ANC Europe chapter. And also we are inviting him to visit the Scandinavia. As you know, the Scandinavia is made up of basically 3 countries, Norway, Sweden, Denmark. Then we have the Nordic countries, that Norway, Sweden, Denmark, Finland, and Iceland. So we are, by a larger extension, we extend it to the Nordic land. So if you're in Finland, you're in Denmark, you're in Iceland, you can come this April 14th to the 16th. And Mr. Cummings is going to be here. So we're going to be having a wonderful time. You can ask all the questions that you want to know about Mr. Cummings and his platform. That will be the opportunity for you. And so you are welcome. And so on this note, Paul, I think our time is far spent. So we just like to thank our audience for being with us. You know, sometimes we take you above the time, our audience, but without you, we cannot be here. We cannot be here. And I think you follow us because you believe in what we say. That's why we are here, and we really, really much appreciate you. Thank you so much, and you're welcome tomorrow and on Friday.
Join us tomorrow, everyone. Join us tomorrow.
At 8 o'clock Central European time, and if you're in Liberia, it will be 7 o'clock Liberian time. So, Paul, take us home.
Bye.
I want to say thanks to our audience for following us. We'll be here. We'll support the women tomorrow. Please join us, and we'll see what the women have to tell us. They say wherever you find men, there are powerful women in the background. So the women going to take over Butterland to show their thing. And I guess tomorrow we'll have a lot of ladies following too to support the women, as we the men we always do. We always give them that support. So we shall take this home, and then I want to do some, because it's election time coming, and I don't know if we have copyright to this guy who will be appearing on the show that we can play his music. Marie, you think? Do you have?
We don't have copyright. Just
we don't have copyright, so we can play that until he is on the show, right?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So let me leave us with the
I
beautiful.
believe. Okay, is it Alonso music talking about?
Yeah.
Oh no, you can play, of course. Yeah.
I can play it.
Yeah, you can.
Right. So first,
he's not gonna report me.
First, we don't have copyright to this song, but we just want to play it. So, and this will close. This is the guy that will be on the show tomorrow with the ladies.
Bye, everyone.
Oh, na, yeah. Shaka. Crazy. Oh, yeah, baby, wale, yeah. Now you can always make a call, oh, yeah. I love you from Monday to Sunday, yeah. Now you they make a mile. For you I no go tire, baby. Cause I dey craze for you. I believe jam and gate for you. I go chase for you. Nobody not go stop on you. Girl, I dey craze for you. I believe jam and gate for you. I go chase for you. Nobody no go score. Cause I go defend you like Rudiga. Antonio Rudiga, yeah. Girl, I go defend you like Rudiga, yeah. Antonio Rudiga, yeah. Oh, so me say, oh Julie, I want to make you my baby, yeah. But you come to me, I go always protect you, yeah. Nobody no go come near you, nobody no go come. Even if I go bring Messi, even if now Ronaldo come, he no go pass ya, he no go pass ya. Oh my Julio, I go defend you like Rudio. Cause I dey craze for you, Billy Jackman gates for you. I go chase for you, nobody not go score on you. Cause I go defend you like Rudiga. Antonio Rudiga, yeah. Girl, I go defend you like Rudiga, yeah. Antonio Rudiga.